Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to this New Year's update. Again, we're going through the weather between now, New Year's, and beyond using the GFS, GEM, ECM, UKV run, and icon and arpege, and the EKV high res precipitation and cloud charts. So we're using all the charts found at residential.d for a change today. I thought we just changed up a bit from the usual updates. But again, we're using the high res chart at the end of the video, so we should be able to see that. So starting with the GFS run, then this is a 12th run. Hasn't finished fully updating. So refresh it. Okay, we got an extra 6 hours in. So we're going forward into tomorrow. More low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. More rain, the usual. New Year's Eve, more rain. Low pressure right over us. New Year's Day, bit not as deep with the low pressure, so a bit drier, but still a lot of showers around. It could be a bit wintry in the north. And then we go a bit cooler into the first few days of next week. But into the 4th of January, a big warm sector comes in. There'll be a big warm front with it as well, so more rain. And then the cold front comes through with more rain. We're into cooler air on the 5th of January. On the 6th of January, then, we're into cooler air to start off, but it'll go a bit milder towards the end of the day. Get a big cold front on the 7th of January, followed by more cold air on the 8th of January, and then wintry showers of that, possibly a bit stormy as well. On the 9th of January, more low pressure comes in with a big warm sector, and we go through into the 11th of January. More low pressure comes through, warm sector there on the 10th, and into the 11th, the cold sector comes through. This, we get a bit of a northerly there at the end of the 12th run on the 12th of January. This is very symbolic of a zonal pattern. It's when you get low pressure around Iceland and Greenland, high pressure around the Azores and Spain, and you get a normally westerly based flow. And it keeps alternating between cooler and milder air masses. And obviously, in the transition, you get lots of rain. And that's basically the typical Irish winter pattern. Rain and wind, a lot of that, and fluctuating air masses and temperatures. So if I put the 850 HPA temperature on, that's the upper air temperature, about 1,500 meters above sea level, and run it through, you can see very nicely how this works. So starting to say on the 29th of December, going through a bit of a warm sector there tomorrow with lots of rain. New Year's Eve goes a bit cooler. New Year's Day cool, and you get a bit of a cold snap on the first during the first few days of next week. Bit milder on the 3rd of January, but especially into the 4th of January. Look, big warm sector. 5 Celsius isotherm as 850 HPA comes through the country as very mild. Be rain in the morning, followed by cloudy and damp conditions in the afternoon. Then heavy rain on Thursday morning, followed by a cold sector on Thursday afternoon. And into Friday, the 6th of January, we continue the cold sector. But look at that. Sunday, or should I say Saturday, 7th of January, mild sector comes in with more rain. And then the cold sector on the 8th of January, minus 5 Celsius ice time coming through the country. Onto Monday the 9th of January, another mild sector coming through, more rain and winds, low pressure, and then into the 11th of January, cold sector comes back, and again it gets quite cold, and on that cold sector is a bit more long lasting, a bit of a northerly there, but that's just how a zonal theme works. Hit constant look, and out to the west you can really see next mild sector coming through. Look at that yellow little, say, mountain in the, say, I'm doing this, but say this, yeah, whatever. You get it. That's how that's how zonality works in Ireland. GEM then. We're running on hover, goes 6 hour intervals, goes. We go into tomorrow, the 30th of December. We go low pressure comes in off the Atlantic again, 6 southwards again over us on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day we see low pressure over the country, and then a bit cooler first few days of next week. Milder into the 4th of January, 5th of January is mild as well, quite wet as well. It goes cooler on the 6th, and then into the 7th of January. Again, hit this deep area of low pressure, low coming out of Greenland, cold air plunging out of Canada, the Labrador Sea coming up into Ireland and the UK. Now, obviously, you won't get these brutal temperatures that are over Greenland and Canada because the Atlantic is just too warm to sustain those temperatures. So, at maximum, I'd say, or minimum, you get the -7 or -8 Celsius ice storm off the Atlantic. You'll never get the -10 Celsius ice storm off the Atlantic, I'd say. If I say maybe in history, maybe in history that has happened, but not that I know of. So you can get cold in the westerly flow, but not bitterly cold. The ECM WF run at this site isn't really doing so well today. It's a bit slow for some reason with the hover. If I just put that on, you'll see. Earlier it was acting really quite weirdly. It was really quite slow. So far, no problems anyway. So I'll just go on with it then. Same story really. Low pressure coming off the Atlantic, coming southwards over us on New Year's Day. Get a bit cooler early next week. Milder towards the 4th of January again, and then we stay mild until the 6th of January, a bit cooler. Then that deep low coming out of Greenland, bringing us a colder blast towards the end of next week. Yeah, quite cold air coming out of Greenland. So we've got quite a clear trends for next week. Zonal. That is perfect. This is the UKM run, and this is just the synoptic charts for this run. This is the precipitation and the clouds high res chart for this run. So going through the pressure then, coming in off the Atlantic we have low pressure again through New Year's, over us on New Year's Day, bit cooler again early next week. Middle next week goes milder as we get into a southwesterly winds. We can't see the end of next week on this run, but we know that's probably going to happen if we could go on any further. And this is the Icon run. We're starting off again with more low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, over us on New Year's Day, a bit cooler with that as well, colder early next week, and then on we go, milder. This sort of thing was happening with the ECM WF. It was quite slow with the hover. There we go. That should be. We should put up a bit of a southeasterly wind there on the 4th of January, so it could get a bit frosty with the air coming in off the continent. But only one run is doing this so far, and there's only one more left. On we go in with more mild air coming in off the Atlantic. This run has high pressure built more towards us, so we get more mild air from the south. Low pressure doesn't have much influence. But again, we see that deep low coming in out of Greenland. Probably have this cold blast by next weekend again. Arpège run then. This is the French run. 6 hourly intervals, and we want the hover. On we go with this sort of thing was okay. That's perfect. The ECMWF, as I said, was behaving like this earlier. We get low pressure over us during the new year, so coolant unsettles, and then we get colder early next week, and on we go. Middle of next week goes milder, as you can see, coming off the Atlantic. Warm sector, probably. There we go. Big warm sector. 5 Celsius ice storm, even warmer than that, probably the 8 Celsius ice storm right there, coming in off the Atlantic. Finally then, the UKV run for precipitation and clouds. So we go through today. We saw a lot of showers coming in, mainly for the west. Some came into the east. I didn't get any showers, but there were quite a few around today. Bit of winteriness there over the Wicklow Mountains. On we go into the 18th. Sorry, on we go into this evening with rain coming in from the southwest. You see, it goes very heavy in the northwest, and as we saw in yesterday's video, you see this line of very better on that chart there. 3 a.m. Friday. See this? I zoom in. Very, very narrow line of very, very heavy squally rain. That's the squall line, and I got a good storm from that in November. If you watch my lightning strikes special, you know all about that, and maybe even remember it. But I got a good storm from one of these in November. It's basically line convection where winds come in together, they have nowhere to go, and it gets forced up, and you get a lot of convection. You know, the air condenses and forms clouds that tower up, and then you get these big lines of very heavy rain or hail, squally winds, maybe even thunder and lightning along the front. So it's looking likely that one of those will come through tomorrow morning. There we go, going across the country tomorrow morning, and then that clears out into the Irish Sea. More showers follow on there, quite cloudy, and then we have to go into Saturday, New Year's Eve. More shower rain coming in off the Atlantic, and then off we go into New Year's Day. Bit cooler there, a bit of winteriness in the Midlands. Not really showing that area of rain so well on this run. On we go into early next week. A bit foggy there on Monday morning. Probably be quite cold as well. Yeah, we go quite cold. Very cold actually in the north. -5 degrees. -6 even. Snow depth, nothing. I don't know why he keeps giving me these ads. On we go. If we change back to that and get rid of that. Thank you. And then we can see a front waiting for Tuesday at the end of the run. So that's your New Year's update. It may be the final one. I may get one extra update in on New Year's Eve. But I'll tell you what's coming up tomorrow and on New Year's Eve. I'll be doing a weather review of the whole year. It'll be either in 2 or 4 parts. It just depends how long it takes to do it, because I can't upload anything that's longer than 15 minutes on YouTube for some reason. So I have to keep the timing all perfect. So it'll either be if there are 4 parts to it, I have 3 parts done tomorrow, uploaded tomorrow, 1 part on New Year's Eve, and if there's 2 parts to it, I'll have 1 part done. I'll have either one or 2 parts done tomorrow, or 1 part up tomorrow and 1 part done on New Year's Eve. So I'll just wait and see. The special will be there either way, so I hope you are looking forward to it. But for now, this is either the final or the second last New Year's update. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.